Hello and welcome to today's episode of Healthy Living Unplugged. This isn't the episode I planned to record. In fact, I almost did not record it at all. But something happened recently, something that shook me to my core, and I knew I had to share it with you. This is the story of the day I almost gave up on my health journey, and one unexpected moment that changed everything. If you've ever felt stuck, overwhelmed, or just done with trying, I want you to stay with me. This isn't just my story, it's about all of us. It was a Tuesday morning, the kind of day that didn't seem remarkable in any way. But for me, it was a day I'll never forget. I woke up feeling heavy, not just in my body, but in my heart too. Have you ever had one of those days when even the smallest task feels like climbing a mountain? That was me on that day. So I just shuffled into the kitchen and thought, what is the point? I'd been trying everything, eating right, exercising, managing stress, but nothing seemed to work. I couldn't see the results that I wanted. I felt like a failure. Worse, I felt like a fraud because I am a person who talks to others about health and wellness. As someone who talks about health and wellness, I should have had it all figured out, right? But in that moment, I couldn't even inspire myself. It was terrible. So I made a decision. That's it. I'm done. I walked out of the kitchen and sat on the couch. I pulled a blanket over my head. It felt safer to hide than to fight. Have you ever been there, feeling so overwhelmed that giving up seemed like the only option? If you have, I want you to know you're not alone. As I sat there lost in my thoughts, I heard a knock on the door. At first, I ignored it, but it was persistent. So reluctantly, I got up and opened it. It was Maria, my neighbor. She's in her 70s, but she has this vibrant, contagious energy. She smiled and handed me a small basket of tomatoes from her garden. I thought you might like these, she said. I forced a smile, thanked her, and then closed the door. I sat back on the couch and stared at those tomatoes. Bright red, slightly misshapen, but beautiful in their imperfection. They smelled like sunshine and earth. They smelled like they had been just brought from the garden fresh as they had been. And then something clicked. These tomatoes didn't grow overnight. They started as tiny seeds buried in the dirt. They faced storms, scorching sun, and cool nights. And yet, here they were, thriving. That's when it hit me. I wasn't stuck, I was growing. I just couldn't see it yet. I want you to imagine this: a seed buried underground. In the darkness, it might feel like nothing is happening, but every day it's reaching, stretching, fighting to break through. That's what growth feels like sometimes. Lonely, invisible, even hopeless. But it's happening even if you can't see it. Take a moment right now. Think about something you're struggling with. Maybe it's your health, a relationship, or a goal you've been chasing. Now ask yourself, what if you're not failing? What if you're growing? When I looked at those tomatoes, I realized I had been so focused on the end results that I forgot to appreciate the process. I forgot that growth takes time, and it's okay if it feels messy and slow. Think about the last time you celebrated a small victory, like drinking enough water, choosing a healthier meal, or taking a short walk. These moments do matter. The tomatoes taught me a powerful lesson. Resilience isn't about never struggling, it's about showing up even when it's hard. Nature has a way of reminding us of this. Every tree, every flower, every plant starts as something small, vulnerable, and uncertain. And so do we. If a seed can break through the dirt, if it can endure storms and still grow, so can we. And here's the best part. Just like those tomatoes, your growth will nourish not only you, but those around you. That day, I made a promise to myself not to be perfect, not to have it all figured out, but to just keep going, one step at a time. I started with the simplest thing, drinking a glass of water. Then I put on my sneakers and went for a 10-minute walk. It wasn't about doing everything, it was about doing something. And you know what? That small step was enough to shift my mindset. The next day, I added one more small step, then another. Over time, those steps added up. They always do. Health isn't about giant leaps, it's about tiny steps that build momentum. It's about giving yourself grace on the hard days and celebrating the small victories, like drinking a glass of water or eating a tomato fresh from the garden. So, here's what I want you to take away from this. Wherever you are on your journey, you're not failing, you're growing. Even if it feels like nothing is happening, remember the seed, remember the tomatoes. And remember this, every small step you take is proof that you're still moving forward. The next time you feel like giving up, try one small thing. Drink a glass of water, go for a walk, smile at yourself in the mirror. They're small, but they do add up. Thank you for joining me on this deeply personal episode of Healthy Living Unplugged. If this story resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with others and like it, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe for more episodes of Healthy Living Unplugged. Until next time, take it one step at a time. Bye for now.